Tom.
Hi, welcome back to 12 Rounds of Drilling with Tony the Tiger. I'm back here today with our friend from the neighborhood, Chuck. How you doing, man? It's been a long time.
I'm doing great, Tony. Thank you for having
Good.
me here. It is an honor for me to be here. As you said, we grew up in the same neighborhood. And for me, it was very important because I'm younger, but it was important for me seeing that somebody in our neighborhood was doing something at the highest level. And that gave me and many kids from my generation that inspiration and that hope to do something and to know that there's something more that can be done. So thank you for having me here.
Right
It's
on,
an
man.
honor.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
It's an honor. I'm glad. I'm happy you're here. Right on, man. So, what have you done since the neighborhood? What have you done since? We all know what I've done. What have you done?
Well, I'm really a nobody.
You're always a somebody. Ain't nobody no such thing as a nobody.
Right. You're always somebody to your mom.
That's right.
But no, I'm just regular person. But I guess in another sense, you could say I kind of overcame the odds because in the neighborhood, in the area in South Sacramento, Meadowview, 24th Street, it was a mix. You had family that were middle class. You had families that were on assistance, Section 8, public assistance, and then everything in between. And it was really, for me, going to, living in a low-income area, going to a school where there are programs there, but not many people take advantage of it. Plus, I was growing up in the mid-'80s when crack hit our neighborhood and when gang violence really took its toll. And childhood friends that I grew up really splintered. Some went into gang banging, others went into working. Me, I went into working because I came from a blue collar family. My mom worked in a warehouse and she only expected me to work. So that's what I did. I was able to graduate from Burbank High School, barely. I started working installing flooring, and the inspiration I got to do something more came from guys I was working with. These were seasoned journeymen, and when you're doing hard labor, it's a young man's game.
That's right.
They had already been doing it 10, 15 years, and they're saying, Chuck, you seem like a smart guy, you should go to school. So I went to school, I went to Sac State, graduated Sac State, then I moved on into my career, and I work now as a contract manager, managing contracts. So for me, I'm really a nobody, but compared to a lot of people that I grew up with that went down a different path, I feel that I overcame the odds. And, like I said, I had close friends that were heavy into gang banging that gave me the opportunity to do it. And I just couldn't do it. It just wasn't me. So,
What was the best thing that happened to you in that neighborhood, and what's the worst thing that happened to you in that neighborhood?
Well, I'd say the best thing that happened to me was having the ability to go into not only our neighborhood, but to neighboring neighborhoods like Detroit, 29th Street, Meadowview, Danger Island, Amherst. Those are all different neighborhoods, but they're all part of the same neighborhood, I guess. South Sac type of thing. But it wasn't just those neighborhoods. It was people that I grew up with, that I went to school with. So when gangbanging dropped, the Crips and the Bloods, some of the schools some of the people that I went to school with went into the Blood faction, other went into the Crip faction, and I was at a little neighborhood house party, and these gangsters came through and were passing out guns saying, we're gonna go ride on somebody. And I said, I went to school with them. They're hella cool. I was like, no, I'm cool. So
Yeah.
I went the other way.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you what, I had a good time when I lived over there. I ventured out a little bit. You know, 'cause I was really hardcore in the lowrider. So I would do the
I remember that.
Franklin Boulevard. I think back in the day it was Windland Park. It was a few parks already back in the days, but I remember being cruising in Windland Park, and I was behind, like maybe 10 cars behind this guy. It was like dusk, maybe a little bit darker than dusk, not really dark. And when hydraulics first came out, and
with the switches and everything.
yeah,
This is before airbags.
Oh, this is way. I don't remember what year.
You got to cut frames.
Oh yeah.
And,
I don't remember what year. Early '80s. I'm guessing, but I'm thinking early '80s for Sacramento, anyways. Because these twins, these two brothers, they were twins, and they had twins 58s, and then and they're like, I don't know, maybe 10 cars in front of me, and all of a sudden, everybody's pointing at the trees on top. And I'm starting looking at the tops because I'm in the back, looking at the trees at the top, and there's headlights hitting them. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look down, I see this 58 going, pow, it's hopping. I'm going, oh my God, that's sweet. And then, you know, but those were my days, you know. I love that. I still love it, you know. I'm a lowrider at heart. I always have been, always will be. You know.
Didn't you have the what was it, the Caprice or the Impala that had the chandelier in it?
Yeah.
Or, no, the disco ball.
Chandelier.
It was a chandelier. Yeah.
See, now they did a movie after I did that. They did a movie on it.
Okay.
Mine was better though.
Okay. All right.
But no, I had a chandelier that worked, and then I had remember the love seat with a little wine area, you know, bottle area and stuff, and had baby swivels.
The
in the
diamond
front.
tuck.
No, it's actually octagon.
Okay.
Don't be stealing my stuff, because I did all the upholstery, so I upholstered it myself. I painted it myself, and in class I tried to make a new design, something, because everybody did tuck and roll and everybody did diamond tuck, and I was going, man, I want to do something different. And I guess I don't know, I seen it or someone showed it to me. I thought, man, let me put these in blocks. I think I put them in blocks. It's 4 or 6. I don't remember. But and I put it in blocks, and every block of 4 in the middle was a diamond, like a diamond tuck, because it was, you know, the octagon and that middle. If you put them like that, there's a diamond in the middle. So I did the whole thing out of that, and it was crazy. It was fun. We had a good time. You know, I think I did what was a big system back then. I don't remember. It was the Pioneer stereo with the round circle on it. It was the 8-track. I think it was an 8-track player. That's all I am. But it was fun. I had a good time in South Sac, man. It was good for me. You know, I know some guys that didn't make it out. You know, but I guess those are called choices. You know, and
everybody's got choices.
Yeah, you know, I get in arguments all the time, and watch. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's okay. You know, I don't care. I don't care about much. How people think, pretty much. You know, so you know, because everybody has their own little. Oh, it could be this. Oh, my brother had this. Oh, my sister did this. Oh, my parents did this. Everybody has their own little thing about what goes on in this world and how it should be or what it should be. And my thing is like, you know, if you, I don't know, like to me, we were talking about it earlier. You know, I feel that a drug addiction is a choice. You know, people go, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Wait a minute. BS. Yes, it is. You can't tell me it's not. Because the first thing you have to do is choose to take that drug. No one's forcing you to take it. You have to choose to take that drug. Watch. Well, I have what a lot of people don't have. It's called common sense. Yeah,
It's not so common.
It's not so common. Because watch, I got offered all kinds of shit, you know. But when I take it, hell no, I ain't getting stuck on some drugs. That's not me. I'm not into that. I'm good. I'm not saying I'm an angel. I never did drugs. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I never did anything that I thought would get me hooked on it. You know, I don't want to be hooked on anything. I don't want to be hooked on phonics. You know, so I'm not going to be hooked on phonics. I'm going to be hooked on drugs. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know, and so you know, but so when people say we argue a lot, because I own a bell bonds company, so we don't argue, but we bicker back and forth with some of my clients because a lot of my clients are there for drugs. And we end up talking, and I tell them, hey man, it's not an addiction, it's a choice. You chose to take the drug, you chose to get addicted. Rather, now that you're addicted, but it was a choice when you first started. I don't care what you call it. It's a choice. You can choose to take it or not to take it. No one's shoving it down your throat. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm at with the drug thing. You know, because I get asked that a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, and now with all these little kids. You know, I was just never, I don't know, I had common sense, dude. I was like, no, I'm good, you know? I do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to do it.
Well, you did some amazing things. And just looking here and looking at all the memories from your career, you did it, for anybody who doesn't know, world-class champion. You did it at the highest level. And I'm just looking at all the pictures, all the belts that you have, champ. So I think that's what we really want to talk about here. So I'm just going to have a couple questions for you. Okay. I think the audience might want to hear.
All right.
If you don't mind, I just took some time to write a few down.
No problem.
But I think it's valuable, especially from someone of your caliber, and I know you do this all the time because you're also a public figure, to also speak to the younger generation. But for boxing in particular, for someone, champ. So one of the top questions for me is, what was your toughest fight? And why was it the toughest fight for you?
Probably my mom, because one day she made me no. You know, there's good question, and let me tell you why. First, let me tell you why. But it is a good question. It's an excellent question. Toughest fight, meaning in what? Toughest physical fight or toughest thinking fight? Because remember, boxing is a thinking game, or it can be a thuggish fight. It could go either way. So which one are you referring to? The best thinking fight or the toughest physical fight? Which one? Or both?
It's up to you to decide, because
no. Which one are you asking?
No, it's a. Why don't you address them both?
Okay, I'll tell you what. Easy.
Both aspects, because you're the one who knows the difference and how how a fight can be tough in one way and not the other, and vice versa.
Okay, that's easy. Okay. Toughest boxer thinking fight I ever had to have, John Molina. That fool would move this way, you know, and he was fast. He hit pretty decent, but he was always moving. He never stayed still. People that move give me problems. Because I'm a fighter. I'm not a boxer. I'm a fighter. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, those are boxers. At times, most times, Thomas Hearns. These are all great boxers. Fighters, Mike Tyson, Roberto Duran, Chavez. These are all great fighters, you know. So you know, a boxer is the one that moves around and thinks. You know, I'll hit him with a jab, hit him with this. A fighter, it's easy. Bell rings, let's go. You ain't got to worry about it. Make him miss and hit him, make him miss. That's all you got to do. You know, I can hit you falling down. I can hit you. You know, it doesn't really matter just because you're fighting. It doesn't really matter. So the toughest boxer, without a doubt, would be John Molina. That fool just moved everywhere. He wouldn't stand still. And then I think the toughest fighter I had to, I've had a few tough fights. One was with Tim Brooks, another local Sacramento fighter. He hit hard. He was tough, and he just didn't stop coming too. You know, we both like little bulls, and he was one of them. And as a matter of fact, I fought him twice. The second fight in Lake Tahoe, because he was real big, he was real bulky, And I didn't think, the first fight, I didn't think he'd ever make the weight. And then he came into the weigh-ins, and he's a brother, so his lips were white, and he looked real skinny. His hair was all messed up. He looked like he had a big problem making weight. And I looked at him, I went, oh, dang. This is going to be an easy fight today. And it was, although he's tough, and he didn't go anywhere. He stayed there for the whole fight, but, you know, it was a tough fight. And then, they asked to fight me again. I thought, yeah, okay, whatever. So, but I trained hard for all my fights, so it's not like I took it easy. So I trained again. He showed up to the weigh-in. He looked fitter than fit, boy. That boy looked like he was more in shape than me. And in that second fight...
Was not to interrupt you, Champ,
no, go ahead.
Was that by design, like to throw you off?
No, I think that was just to kick my butt.
Oh, okay.
He just trained hard, you know, and he took the time to lose the weight this time, you know. And then I think it was, I don't remember what round it was, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, probably 4th, 5th, or 6th, somewhere around in there, in the middle of the fight. No, maybe it was like the 3rd or 4th round, because I remember it was still being early, and I'm still fresh, and I'm going, this is kind of easy, you know. It was an easier fight for me at first. And then I guess my right hand was a little bit dropped, and he threw a left hook and went wham. Watch this. My whole body went numb. And I don't know how it happened. I guess this is from conditioning, from being in such good shape. I guess people say my knee came about 3 inches from hitting the canvas. If it would have hit the canvas, that would have been a knockdown, you know. And then, but it didn't. I got back up, and you know my world is kind of turning a little bit. And I remember seeing the referee on my left hand side. Tim Brooks was over here, and the referee was like saying, "Okay, come back, you know, start fighting." Oh, he had to give me the 8 count, but you know, he had to look for me, right? He was going to give me the 8 count, so I moved to my left, behind his back, so he had to take more time to find me, which helped me, because then he had to give me an 8 count, and